Is Iron Viz. Hundreds of data whizzes from around the world competed to be here, and the stakes are high for the three finalists at the top of their game as they prepare to push themselves to creative extremes. How will they be judged? On three criteria: design, storytelling, and analysis. Sparks and insights will fly as they furiously race the clock and go dashboard to dashboard to be crowned best in Viz. Who will win bragging rights? Stay tuned to find out.
Welcome to Iron Viz 2024. Please welcome your host, Archana Ganeshalingam and Andy Cotgreave.
Iron Viz. Now, I'm not sure where Andy is, but I'm here and I'm Archana Ganeshalingam, Solution Engineering Program Manager, and I'm delighted to see all of you here. Who's ready for an incredible showdown? Now, that was pretty good, but I need you to get louder if we want to get Andy out here. Come on! He should be joining us any moment. You are joining us, aren't you, Andy?
Yeah, I'll be right there, just wrapping up a few things, Archana.
Well, whatever you're doing, it better be very important, because this is Iron Viz.
Oh, trust me, don't worry, it's very, very, very important. Voila! It's my masterpiece. What do you think?
That's brilliant, Andy. You're very talented, but you think you can get over here? You know, we're already live.
Wait, what? Isn't Iron Viz normally on a Wednesday? Oh my gosh, I'll be right there!
Andy! Oh my God. Never mind him. We have a great competition for you today. For those of you who are new to Iron Viz, each year, hundreds of members of the Tableau community compete in a qualifier contest for the chance to compete live on stage for the title of Iron Viz champ. To the audience right here in sunny San Diego, let me hear those bam bams! And to those of you watching at home on Salesforce Plus, YouTube, and LinkedIn, welcome. So, without further ado, it's 2024, and this is Iron Viz! Made it, thank God.
Yeah.
That is some impeccable timing, Andy, and as always, an incredible outfit. And
thank you.
I see your shoes. Are they custom?
They are. Check them out. I think I've reached...
Oh, let's give them a spin.
Give them a spin.
Our team can't see them.
I'm going to stay put. Oh, we'll do this. Hold me. Right, there they are. I've reached peak footwear. Matthew Miller, eat your heart out. You look fantastic too, Archana. And it's great out on the beach. Surfers up, the waves were pumping. Incredible.
Really? You surf, Andy?
Yeah, the internet. Thank you.
Today, three contestants will be going head-to-head to build the best visualization in just 20 minutes. They'll then present their visualization, given just 3 minutes, to our esteemed panel of judges who will be rating them on 3 criteria: analysis, design, and storytelling.
Indeed, and we need a theme for this year's Iron Viz, and I can tell you with great excitement, we have got a 61 million row data set powered by IMDb. It's all about TV. Yeah. So, many of you have been doing incredible work with the Data Plus Movies Challenge. Anybody? Yes, we've loved it. So this theme today is TV, and as a little tease, later this year we're going to be launching a new challenge. You can play with this very same data set in the Data Plus TV challenge coming later this year, so that's going to be cool.
I can't wait to see what our data fan comes up with.
Me neither.
Now, back to the business of show business. Our contestants had just 1 month to prepare the data that they'll be presenting live from New York.
It's not Saturday Night Live, Wachana.
Well, with your jokes, one day we'll get there. Live, of course, from San Diego, right here on the Iron Viz stage.
That's right, very soon, one member of the amazing Data Fan will be crowned Iron Viz Champion 2024.
Our winner will be taking home $15,000 plus $10,000 to the charity of their choice.
And they get, of course, the coveted Iron Viz trophy, like an Emmy, but way better, right?
Way better. And our second and third place winners will each take home $6,000 plus $4,000 to the charities of their choice.
Ka-ching!
Ka-ching! And everyone in the audience will also be able to weigh in on which Viz they think is the best.
That's right, you will all get to choose your favorite Viz tonight in the fan favorite, backed by popular demand, and we'll give you more details about that later on.
So, let's meet the stars of our competition.
Let's do it.
These are our Vizzes. They are 3 members of the Tableau community who entered a month-long qualifier contest and came out on top.
Indeed, let's get them on. So first up, from Sweet Home, Alabama. She has done, I haven't said her name yet. She's built over 12 Vizzes on the show The Bachelor. Let's meet Jessica Moon.
I'm Jessica Moon.
And I'm Candace Moon.
And we're coming to you from Huntsville, Alabama. Welcome to my office. This is where the Tableau magic happens. During the pandemic, my recreational vizzing picked up, and I was introduced to the Data Fan, who have been very impactful on developing my technical and design skills. My favorite Tableau features are map layers and parameters. For fun, I like spending time with my family and taking a couple adult hip-hop classes. I never expected to make it to the Iron Viz finals, and I'm grateful to have made it this far. I chose the Make-A-Wish Foundation as the charity to support in this competition because I recognize the impact that a critical illness can have on a child and their family. What's at stake in this competition? Taylor Swift. My middle child, Natalie, is a big Taylor Swift fan. Legitimate tickets are very expensive, and if I were to win this competition, I would definitely like to give her that experience.
All right, let's get her some Taylor Swift tickets. It's Jessica Moon.
Contestant has seen every episode of The Office more times than he'd care to admit. But don't let him being from the UK fool you, because he actually prefers the US version. Hailing from Edinburgh, Scotland, is Chris Westlake.
Hi Data Fam, I'm Chris Westlake, coming to you from the wonderful city of Edinburgh. The data visualization community in Scotland is definitely not the biggest. I hope that seeing somebody from this small part of the world on stage will motivate more people to get involved. This is my workstation where all the good Tableau things happen. On top of the monitor, I've got my octopus squid friend. He is moral support and reminds me to look at the camera during video calls and smile. I've been using Tableau for about 6 years and love it just as much now as when I first started. My favorite Tableau features are dynamic zone visibility and map layers. When I'm not losing myself in data, I'm often losing myself down one of Edinburgh's many historic streets or seeing the historic buildings. Edinburgh's a city that's big enough for there to always be something going on, while also being small enough to make it easy to escape the hustle and bustle whenever you need to. I have selected the Make-A-Wish Foundation as my chosen charity. I firmly believe that every childhood should be a happy childhood, and it's heartbreaking to know that so many have this stolen from them. Winning in San Diego for me would really demonstrate the power of this community. I started in data visualization without any formal training, and everything I know that's gotten me to this point has just been absorbed by the amazing people around me. So thank you for all that you've done to get me here.
Please give a warm welcome to Chris.
Ladies and gentlemen, and our final contestant is from Prague. She is always glued to the TV when watching her favorite show, Money Heist. Let's meet Pata Gagova.
Hello, DataFM. My name is Patricia. I'm originally from Slovakia, but for the last 10 years, I'm living in Czech Republic. My Tableau journey kicked off 4 years ago when I started playing around with it as an addition to my then non-data-related job. After switching to data job, Tableau accompanies me almost every day. I love how I can use Tableau for business reporting, but also for fun artistic projects of mine. My most favorite idea of having fun is meeting my friends for brunches, going out for coffee walks, or just enjoying a cup of good coffee and a book. And I guess the coffee is the key success factor for me. I chose Plan International, which is a global organization that works with children, young people, and its supporters to strive for a world where we are all equal. I relate to their perspective that every child has the right to live free from violence at home, in school, in public spaces, and in their communities. Just the fact that I qualified for finals as a first-time participant is already a huge win for me. A winning would make me the happiest. But what I think is more important is the message it would send, that if you really love something and you give it your all, it just pays off.
Let's hope it pays off for Pata tonight. Pata Gagova! Okay. Contestants, welcome to Iron Viz Stadium. Jessica, do you have what it takes to get the judges to say, will you take this rose?
I do. How about you, Chris? Which has the bigger chance of a success? A spin-off of The Office being a hit, or Team Chris winning Iron Viz?
Tonight's all about Team Chris, but really they'd both be great, so I guess they're the same picture.
And finally, Pata, do you have what it takes to be a Vizzing mastermind and take home that trophy?
Well, we'll soon find out, I guess.
Each Viz is its own TV show, and our contestants are the lead actors. Playing supporting role is their sous vizzer. They bring expertise, advice, and support to help their contestants shine.
That's right. They're all long-standing members of the community, and they're going to be here to help give us live commentary during the 20-minute build as well. So, should we meet our sous vizzers? Yes.
First up for Team Jessica is Kim Vitiello. Kim hails from New Hampshire and is a huge IT crowd fan. To the IT crowd in this room, let's hear it for Kim.
Woo. Next up, supporting Chris is JP from London. He's a fan of Succession, so he loves a bit of competition. Come on, JP. Hello, sir.
And finally, from Stockholm, Sweden, is Pata's sous vizzer, Peter Jonsson. His favorite TV show is Better Call Saul, so we better call Peter!
All right. Thank you, sous vizzers. And the final people we need to meet is those who are going to choose the best daytime drama, the show with the most, the Iron Viz winner. Let's meet the judges.
First up, last year's Iron Viz champion, all the way from Australia, self-proclaimed pop culture geek, it's Paul Ross.
And next up we have director of Tableau Public, fan of One Tree Hill, and she's just written an awesome book about trees. It's Taha Ibrahimi.
And finally, from Cleveland, you all know him as a long-standing sous-visor, but making his first-time debut as a judge is Mark Bradbourne.
Woo.
So, we have Andy on stage. You made it.
Always.
We have our contestants, our sous-visors, and our judges. I think we're ready for some vizzing action.
Yes, contestants, you have 20 minutes to get your builds done.
You're about to go head-to-head in the ultimate battle of Tableau. Are you ready?
That is all 100% success rate. Okay, count down with us as we kick off Iron Viz, everybody. Count down with me. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Iron Viz! Woo! Well, it's all 3 black screens at the moment, so you should be seeing
having some
3 builds, but I guess this is a technical difficulty. You know what? While we're solving that, I'm going to tell you all about where you can see the contestants' vizzes. Oh, phew! I was going to do some magic tricks, the worst nightmare for everybody. So it looks like we missed a bit of global formatting, Archana. Why would we be doing global formatting in Iron Viz?
Yeah, it's something we always see our contestants start the competition with. Global formatting is a way to set up all your fonts, some custom colors, whether you want to use grid lines. It's a great way to save time, both here on the Iron Viz stage and, of course, at home in the office.
Yeah, I think for all of you who maybe are a bit new to Tableau, you're going to see vizzing at the speed of light, but a lot of the stuff you're going to see today is tips you can use at home. Now, I do notice Jessica hasn't gone down the formatting route immediately. So, Kim, welcome to the stage. Why dashboard first?
Well, much like any good TV series worth its salt has an excellent pilot episode to set the stage for what's to come, Jessica is doing just that here so that she can bring on her data supporting cast members as she builds out this dashboard. And a little trick you're going to see in a bit, she adds a vertical container to catch those auto legends that Tableau adds to quickly get rid of those later on.
I love me a vertical container. Much better than horizontal. What am I talking about? I don't know. Actually, Kim, did I see Buffy? Is that a Buffy story in the development?
Well, you'll have to wait to see what's at stake as she slays this competition, Andy.
Ooh. It's not Iron Viz without the puns. Now, I'm seeing on Chris's screen, he's using a familiar Iron Viz maneuver. JP, tell us more.
Yeah, this is the legendary Poulter maneuver, where Chris is dragging in his calculations from a single calc box into the left-hand side. Now, one thing about Chris is he always thinks a step ahead, like a carpenter building a staircase. And he's named his dimensions perfectly so that he can use the search function and find just the fields he needs for each individual sheet.
Absolutely. I love the Poulter maneuver.
It was a classic.
Yeah.
I was in the audience in 2019.
Yeah, for those of you who don't know what it is, it's an Iron Viz in-joke, but go and watch the 2019 show for the answer. Now, Peter, what's going on with Patter? It looks like a bar chart.
Exactly, Andy. As you know, I mean, bar chart is like the best way of comparing values, right? What we're seeing here now is like each bar represents a decade of TV film history. And now we're turning each of those bars into stacked bar charts, actually, comparing the male, female actor leads in those.
That's great. I mean, the pace of this is already, I'm seeing loads of charts already, but stacked bar charts. Some people in this audience might not be a fan. Mark, what do you think of stacked bar charts?
Well, to quote the well-dressed Andy Cotgreave, it depends, my friend. From a best practices point of view, the first section of a stacked bar chart is always going to be really comparable because it's got that common baseline. But once you get into those later segments, those comparisons become a little bit tougher, so you really need to proceed with caution.
Mark there already earning his place at the judges' table.
I think he deserves the seat.
Now, I want to come on to Chris's screen. JP, we're seeing some chunky bubbles. Tell us about the Mark type choice.
Yeah, we are seeing some very chunky bubbles indeed. These started out as a dual axis chart where Chris was layering circles over one another, but actually for the build, he opted instead to use custom shapes. These custom shapes came in and they already have a border which creates a really nice drop shadow and adds a little bit of something special to the scatter block.
Special, I like that. Custom shapes, you can build that kind of thing with dual axis charts as well. Power and flexibility of Tableau. Now, what should we do? Oh, yes. That parameter, can you see those parameter names on Jessica's
about,
build?
just
Yeah, just
about.
about. It's kind of tiny, but is that a context fairy?
It
I
is.
see. Kim, what's going on?
Yes, so the context fairy is there to light the path for the user. You remember that Buffy text we saw at the beginning? Jessica wants to make sure that the viz is not too overloaded with text, so the context fairy gives the user the option to see it if they'd like to or not. You know, like the opposite of a food blogger's recipes.
Now, we're already 5 minutes into the competition, but I want to turn back time and go to the beginning of our contestants' journey. They had 1 month to prepare this data set. So, Peter, can you tell us how Pata approached working with 61 million rows of data?
Oh, yeah, good question, Archana. I mean, what she did, she actually used the entire data set that was provided to us from IMDb, and she hasn't used any data prep tools or limiting of any source. I mean, what we needed to do here to tell this entire story is like use the entire data set. So we're going to see what that goes here in a little bit.
Thank you, Peter. And JP, same question to you for Chris.
Yeah, so Chris opted to use Tableau Prep in order to filter down to the top 250 TV shows by number of votes. So you'll see that he's got a little bit of a shorter data set, but it's narrower because he's added a load of calculations in that prep step.
I think, can we hear it for Tableau Prep? Excellent. Thank you. Sorry, carry on.
That's all right.
Just thought
And
we'd do that.
finally, same question to you, Kim. How did Jessica prepare her data for today's show?
So she actually used Tableau Prep for the first time for this contest. And she used it in one of the most advanced and innovative ways I think I've actually ever seen to make some really key fields and interesting data for something very cool you guys are going to see in a bit.
Ooh, I think she's teasing us somewhat, right? Peter, where are we up to with Pata's viz? What viz type are we going to see next?
I mean, what we're seeing here is like she's using one of those famous waffle charts. And waffle charts, as you know, is lots of squares tiled together where each tile itself represents a data point, right? And these data points we're gonna be using those in a little bit to turn into URL actions as well. So stay tuned for that.
URL actions.
Yeah, we like those.
We like those. Pop quiz?
Pop quiz, go on then. What? I have to answer the. What is a URL action?
What is a URL action?
One of the amazing things about Tableau is the myriad ways you can interact and build interactivity into your data. One of those is if your data contains a URL or some sort of slug of a URL, you can send people out to a browser to get there. And I guess we're going to see that here, but it's just a superpower technique. Do I pass?
He's passed.
Yes.
Another year on the Iron Viz
Another
stage.
year on the Iron Viz stage.
Now, I want to come back to something I saw earlier on Chris's screen. Earlier, we saw a barcode-style visualization. JP, can you explain that?
Yeah, so one thing you'll notice about Chris is that he is fast. He is somewhere between a snake and a mongoose. And a panther, So he's duplicating his sheets. And one thing you'll notice is that he's got sheet 1, and that will go to sheet 1 version 8. He's trying to do this to not double drag out dimensions and reuse the ones from previous sheets. It's a bit of a high-risk move, and it means that his visualizations get a little bit weird and wacky before they get wonderful.
So we're not going to see barcodes at the end?
Unfortunately not.
Well, on the Iron Viz stage, every click counts, but that sounds like a risky move for Chris because he's named all his sheets sheet 1, so what if he gets mixed up?
I could easily get confused. Mongoose has never been my go-to fast animal. I don't know about anyone else. Kim, tell us what Jessica's doing with some of her sheet formatting and these shapes.
So her shapes, may I just say, are iconic in this viz. And what she's doing here is something that's actually very clever. So much like the universal workbook formatting that we saw at the start of this, she is using this single sheet to set up all of the universal formatting for shapes and colors across the workbook.
And while we're on Jessica's screen, we can see that she's using a pie chart. It's always a controversial choice. Kim, tell us why she chose it.
Yes, so pie charts are definitely controversial. I'm not a huge fan of them myself, but I would say that her example is sweet as pie in this case for ideal best practices. So because she's not using a multiplicity of colors, there's not a lot of labels, and there's a singular primary element, this is where the pie chart can really shine for this viz.
Nice. All right, well, Paul, why don't you tell us a little bit about Hang on. Paul, wait a minute. What's going on in East Africa? West Africa, sorry. JP.
For a split second, Chris dropped a load of data into the Atlantic Ocean. But fear not. As soon as he swaps the latitudes and longitudes, he's going to be using map layers in order to create a radial scatter chart. So he's going to create 2 more reference lines and then drag on a load of dots that will represent episodes. So keep an eye on that. That is the centerpiece of Chris's presentation.
Oh, I think it just leveled up a little, don't you?
Yeah.
All right, Paul, let's try that question again. Tell us about pie charts and radial charts now.
Yeah, well, those are definitely 2 ends of the chart spectrum, aren't they? Well, look, I think it's true that any chart type is potentially useful, and if my visits are anything to go by, then the simplest chart type is usually the best. So I'm with Kim in a controversial take that pie charts sometimes deserve love too.
That's so true.
That was cute.
Yeah, that's so touching.
Now, Taha.
I just saw some red dots appear on Chris's radial chart. I'm super curious to know what they signify.
Yeah, great call out. So Chris really wants your eyes to be drawn to these red dots. These are pivotal moments in a show's history, and they're being defined by those 2 reference lines. The dashed line is the series rating, and the solid line is the season average within a particular season. So any red dot is an outlier that is particularly far from the average. They're the most memorable moments in a show's history that sometimes bring that average rating up. So keep an eye out for those. They're the best episodes. Great spot.
Thank you, JP. Now, while we were all focused on Null Island off the coast of Africa, one thing we missed was Hatter's Viz. She's actually brought in what looks like a hand-drawn image. Peter, tell us more.
No, yeah, exactly, Archana. What you're seeing here, we're still on the screen here, is like Pacha's signature style data design, which is actually using hand-drawn sketches from Procreation tools. So this is actually a TV set she's creating here that's going to be the backdrop of this entire story. So she's putting down the TV buttons and everything here.
Nice one.
Nice.
Thank you. And we are already more than halfway.
Yeah, halfway. Let's hear it for these contestants. That's halfway, everybody. Amazing. Oh, this is incredible. You know, each of these contestants battled hard to get to their place on the stage today, and you can go and see their qualifier entry vizzes in the Viz Gallery in Data Village. Has anybody been to check them out? Yeah. Just go, if you haven't been to Viz Gallery, I highly recommend it. You can see these 3 contestants' vizzes, loads of the Data Plus movies, vizzes, and a huge selection of incredible stories from our data fans. So check that out.
Now, Jessica, Kim, can you tell us what Jessica was building earlier? I saw a scatter plot visualize.
Oh!
Was that real? Or was that just fantasy?
So this is actually my absolute favorite part of Jessica's build, just because it's so magical. These are some of those key coordinates that I mentioned earlier that she used Tableau Prep for. Every single one of those marks represents the sweetest of the sweet episodes from IMDb's different series. And the outline shapes you're going to see coming in are custom shapes she made that indicate the shows that you've watched, so you can explore all of them.
That's so cool. Now, Chris, JP, is Chris building the world's smallest dashboard? Why? I mean, I know white space is good, right?
But he like that.
He has just started his dashboard build, and he is opting to do it all in a very small container. It's getting very busy. He's building a city in a matchbox here, but he is going to drag that container out and make it much larger. He found it easier to work in a smaller space, to be really precise with where he puts his mouse and all those different objects.
Nice one. Now let's talk interactivity. Peter, how is Pata using the TV as a framing device here?
As you can see here, Archana, on the screen, she's got a classic TV set with knobs on it, right? So maybe it's just me and Andy and Mr. Mark Bradbourne down there that remember TV sets that did not have remote control. You actually had to go up there and push the buttons, right? That's the fun. We're using the interactivity here with filter controls to actually navigate through the buttons we're going to see here. So.
Nice one.
It's amazing. JP, what I'm guessing you're going a different, or Chris is going a different interactive path through your story. What's he doing?
Yeah, so he's opted to use a single dashboard and use dynamic zone visibility in order to show and hide some of these charts. So that really crowded container, you'll see all of these charts disappear and then have a user interactivity basically dynamically show them. So he's opting to do this all in a single canvas for his build.
Right.
Interesting. And same question to you, Kim. How is Jessica using interactivity as a storytelling device?
So she's also using dynamic zone visibility for such elements like that context fairy. But Jessica actually made a very conscious decision that she wanted this to be a single pane of glass so that it could have used and appeal to the widest range of data literacy out there. So she is staying with a single dashboard to tell her story.
That's amazing. It's, again, for those new to Tableau, you know, you're seeing three very different but completely valid approaches to building interactive data stories and dashboards. So I love it. And I want to go to Paul. I believe you did a lot of dynamic zone visibility in your winning entry last year.
Yeah,
you like that feature too?
Absolutely, yeah. I'm a big fan. It really makes storytelling fun. You feel like kind of like Tom Cruise in Minority Report. You got the glove and you're moving things around the screen. You make them big when they're important, and you shrink them and get rid of them when you're done with them. And it's just great to have that sort of control and flexibility to step through a story.
Nice. Right.
It's been full pelt the whole time.
I know. Let's take a moment. In fact, I want to go to Taha. Hopefully, we're inspiring people to get involved and start using Tableau Public and do some of those things. How can they get started?
Well, one of the best ways is you can go to Trailhead, which is our free platform to learn how to use our products. And just recently, Tableau Public got integrated on Trailhead, so you can now get hands-on as you train.
Yeah. In fact, it's a really cool feature. You know what my favorite announcement in the keynote this morning was?
I don't, Andy. What was it?
Local save on Tableau Public. It's like, it's just so exciting. Excellent. We got some fans in the audience.
Now, let's talk text, because I'm seeing a lot of it on Chris's dashboard.
Yeah.
JP, explain.
We are seeing a lot of text on Chris's dashboard. He really wanted to add context here because this is the Explorer. He wanted people to feel comfortable jumping into it. Now, one thing is there's even text hidden underneath some of the images, right? So as he dragged in the images, he even added something called alt text, which means that people with screen readers are able to access this dashboard as well. So accessibility is key here, and there's even more text than you imagine.
Yeah.
Nice. And speaking of text, let's talk about Pat's use of text and color in her titles. Peter.
Yeah, what we're going to see here, the screen is not on that right now, but she's actually freeing up a lot of space at the top here, you see, where she's using that space to create the title. And the legend of the title is colored, so you can use that in the title. That's actually good advice for you to free up some space and real estate on your sheets to use the title itself as a color legend.
All right. Paul, give us a bit of a perspective into the contestants' minds right now. We're at 3.5 minutes to go. What was it like for you at this point last year?
Yeah, well, no matter how many times you practice, you're always nervous about something going wrong. At least I was. That's why I was a bit conservative, left myself a few panic minutes at the end of my build in case of emergency or disaster.
Yeah.
But these three are fearless. They are going right down to the wire, so it's going to make for a much more exciting countdown.
Yeah. And if you want to hear what the contestants, or hear the background story for all the contestants' build, their inspiration, their ideas, and the deeper story, we will be doing the Behind the Build series, where we'll sit down and chat with them and watch their build and learn even more tips and tricks. So keep your eye out for those.
Now, I want to come back to Mark, one of our new judges to the panel. Mark, what's it like being on the other side of the table this year?
Sorry, I'm just checking my pulse. It's actually a lot less stressful. I've slept way better this week. But it's cool to see all of the creativity that the contestants are bringing. Same data set, different analysis, different design, different thought process. It's super cool. And yeah, I can't compliment them enough for the work they've done.
Yeah, they're doing an amazing job. Mark also runs an amazing community project, Real World Fake Data. It's one of many great projects you can get involved with. Yeah. So back to Viz Basics, Makeover Monday, Iron Viz. There's no excuse not to build up those skills. 2 minutes to go. Ooh, JP, has Chris got what it takes to get this done in time?
He absolutely does. He absolutely does.
All right, that's good. Peter, what is Patter panicking?
Not at all. What you probably saw here was a freaky big face on it, where she was actually testing one of those URL actions that came from the waffle chart, brought it into the IMDb page. Doing good.
Nice. How about Kim? Is Jessica on time to finish?
She definitely will be. And a fun little Easter egg, actually, that we didn't have a chance to call out earlier that I wanted to call attention to is Jessica actually used an undocumented function in Tableau. That random that she used on her scatter plot is undocumented, and it's used to jitter the episodes for better exploration and visibility.
Nice. JP.
As an assistant to the regional manager once said, 1 minute ahead of schedule, right on schedule. Chris has bossed it.
Wow.
Very good. I guess Pat and Jessica are going to get things done on time. You've just got 35 seconds to go. What do you think? Go.
And for all of you in the audience, whether you're right here in San Diego or watching at home, be sure to get involved in the conversation using the hashtag
Iron Viz.
Of course.
Of course it is.
We are into our...
Peter, what are we seeing?
We're done. Checks in the mail.
Ooh.
Wow. We are into our final countdown.
And Jessica's still going.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Milestone!
Oh, that is amazing work, everybody. So yeah, get on socials, use the hashtag IronViz, tell us what you think.
Those 20 minutes flew by so fast. I'm exhausted. I could have used some commercial breaks.
Yeah, we didn't even do the work.
Yeah, I know, just to catch my breath. And we're not going to give our contestants a break just yet either, because they are about to get 3 minutes each to present their vizzes to all of you. So first up is Jessica.
Television can be a great escape and a shared experience. When I was much younger, my dad, brother, and I watched Buffy the Vampire Slayer. That began my love for fantasy series where there are vampires, ghosts, magic, and time travel. These are the series that can help us unwind and enter a new world of possibilities. Some logic has been applied to narrow the data set to those series I might be interested in watching if I haven't already, and can be seen by clicking the context vary. What should I watch next? To begin, I'm pasting some of my fantasy favorites' title IDs into the manual selection, and I hope y'all will explore this dashboard with your own selections soon. I've selected Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Pushing Daisies, and The Magicians. This has populated the pie chart where I see that 2 out of 3 of my series are considered sweet, as sweet is defined as an IMDb series rating of 8. The Magicians is unsweet at 7.6, but I thought it was really good, so maybe I should lower the bar a bit in this analysis. Let me change to 7.6. Now that's more like it. In this analysis, there's just 9 shapes to remember, and there was thought behind it. I'll explain. Action is full tilt, adventure takes you full circle, comedy is always a plus, take a bite out of crime, drama is dense, fantasy sparkle, mystery like the Bermuda Triangle, sci-fi star, and short you just have to remember is a pentagon. These series represent the first listed genre. These shapes represent the first listed genre of the series and give you an idea of what might be the biggest element in them. This next section gives you recommendations based on a title selection, and since I made the manual series selections, it shows my highest rated show, Pushing Daisies, by default. Let's quickly change the title to Buffy the Vampire Slayer, since that was my OG fantasy series. I can look through the series plots, number of rated episodes, seasons, etc., and based on my preferences and binge requirements, find out what I might want to watch next. Demons, paranormal, and a female lead? Wynonna Earp seems like my vibe, despite being under the sweet threshold.
I wonder if it might still be worth it. Let me flip the filter to take a more detailed look. It appears most of its episodes have a sweet rating, and with an ending that's almost 2 points higher than the starting episode, I shouldn't be disappointed.
Thank you, Jessica. So now we'll get a question from the judges. Mark, what would you like to ask Jessica?
Jessica, from a design standpoint, you actually went against the grain where your other competitors use the IMDb yellow, and you've used this really bold purple color. And I'm just curious, because every visualization artist makes choices and compromises, what drew you to purple?
When I decided to look at just fantasy series, I wanted to pick a color that really suited the theme. I asked ChatGPT what colors it thought of when it thought of fantasy, and the top selection was purple. And I feel like I'm in my own purple era, so I thought it was fitting.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Jessica.
Sparks fly over in Team Jessica's corner. Next up to present is Chris.
Thanks, Archana. Judges, data fam, hands up if you watched TV when you were growing up. Well, I was the weird kid at school who didn't have a TV at home. So since getting a TV, I've often wanted to know what shows are worth catching up on. I was really excited to get this data set. Let me introduce you to the IMDb Explorer. Of the 250 most voted for shows, we see two that stand out from the rest. Game of Thrones and Breaking Bad are both very highly rated and have over 2 million votes each, a testament to both their quality and popularity. Changing that vertical axis to position dots by number of episodes instead of number of votes gives us a view of each show's longevity. Suddenly, those two don't stand out so much. But let's zoom in on the highest rated shows, those with a rating of 9 out of 10 or higher. Here, there's one show that sits above the rest. The Office, a mockumentary that teaches us that an office is a place to live life to the fullest, to the max, to an office is a place where dreams come true. Let's take a look. The dots on this chart are the show's 188 episodes, positioned by their average rating. The rating of episodes is completely separate from that series rating we were looking at previously. In fact, for The Office, you can see here that the series rating is higher than the average episode rating in any one season. There are a handful of episodes that do rate higher than that series rating. These episodes are highlighted in red, and they're the ones that we remember the most, like Stress Relief, or Goodbye Michael. We see a drop-off in the show's ratings in the final 2 seasons. Let's see if the cast can help us work out why. Michael Scott, the world's best boss, played by Steve Carell, features in every episode until the end of season 7, leaving just before the ratings drop. Could losing such a main character be the reason for the decline? And where did Steve Carell go after The Office anyway? Between leaving The Office and starring in Space Force, he hardly features on television at all. As data people, we tend to focus on the data that's in front of us, ignoring the gaps. There's definitely a gap in here. So let's look at this from another angle. Awards are an important part of an actor's career, and Steve Carell has won and been nominated for many. The Office was a huge success, but in that gap that we identified, Steve was crushing it on the cinematic scene. But what if you've never watched The Office? What if you've never even heard of Steve Carell? Maybe you want to know when the ratings of The Simpsons began to decline, or what Bryan Cranston's career looked like before Breaking Bad. With this dashboard, you can. Pick your own favorite TV show and go exploring.
Woo! Well, thank you very much, Chris. Over to the judges. Paul, do you have a question for Chris?
Yeah, great job, Chris. I have a question about those spectacular radial charts. They must have taken a ton of time, like in terms of prep time and precious minutes of your build. Why did you decide that time cost was worth paying?
Sure, so having every episode on one horizontal line doesn't really give you much space when you have more than 1,000 episodes in a show. Bending that axis just gives everything a little bit more room. And as for the time element, there was a lot of data prep going on in the background, but in the build, it was made so much quicker because of map layers.
Thank you.
Map layers.
Thank you, Chris.
Layers. I love map layers.
You're buzzing. Thank you, Chris, and apologies to anyone who we spoiled The Office.
Yeah, I'm literally just through season 6 for the first time. Thanks, Chris.
Last but not least to present is Pata.
Thank you. In the ever-evolving landscape of television, where every storyline views for our attention, there's one story that often goes untold, and it's a hidden narrative of inequality deeply hidden in our favorite shows. Imagine yourself tuning in to your favorite show, anticipating a diverse cast, only to find out that the female characters are consistently underrepresented. Not the plot we were hoping for, right? In the data, we've uncovered that those series containing more female presence tend to receive 4 awards on average, in contrast to 2.5 received by those featuring more men. But here's the twist. Oh, sorry. The twist already happened. The question is, are we on a good path? Are we evolving? And are we creating a sufficiently fair environment for when there's room for presence of all? Well, let's turn on the TV and see how we evolved over the last few decades. As we travel from 1950s to 2020s, we see an interesting trend. The gender balance has been on the rise, hitting 27% in 2000s, then slightly dipping to 25%, but rising back up to 29% in the current decade. What I think is definitely worth mentioning here is also the number of series where the number of appearances is equal. We are hitting the all-time high, 10% in 2020s. What gives me extra joy and hope, to be honest, is that for 2020s, we are only looking at 4 years in the data, but we are already in the history peak. But let's not stop there. Let's see how genres fare in terms of the share of appearances and awards. Here, I can examine, after filtering for the decade, the relationship between the share of women's appearances and the normalized number of awards per series. The normalized number allows me to better compare the genres. The choice is really yours here, but I'm personally more interested in those genres that represent higher number of series. After filtering for the decade and the genre, I'm now faced with a list that's tailored to my interest. The list is ordered by the number of awards received, so I see those most successful ones, at least from the perspective of awards, at the first glance. I can click through a few of them to see some critical information, such as the IMDb rating, the short version of the plot, or the number of evenings it would take me to see the whole thing. After I'm happy with this choice, I can just simply click on this play button to be forwarded to the dedicated IMDb page. Yeah. May this analysis steer you towards your TV series that are worth of your time, that challenge the stereotypes, and that pave the way towards the gender equality on screens by the decade's end. Thank you.
Woo! Incredible work, Pata. Thank you very much. So, Taha, do you have a question for Pata?
I most certainly do. Pata, I love the creativity of that television framing device and that it's handwritten. I also love that amazing insight right at the beginning where you show how few women were cast in the 1950s versus right now. Tell me a little bit more about how you decided how to lead people through your story.
Thank you. It was definitely driven by my own curiosity. I was first looking at the high-level number, and then I just looked at different angles to narrow down to one single series that I then want to watch.
Thank you.
Thank you, Pata. Now for a few final thoughts from our judges. Mark, what excited you about today's showdown, specifically the analysis?
I think, honestly, the thing that excites me about today's competition is the thing that excited me back the first time I saw Iron Viz. And it is truly the creativity and the analysis and the storytelling that comes from these amazing contestants. It's like nothing else in the world to see this happen on stage live. So to all of the contestants, I just want to say bravo.
Three very different approaches to the same data set. Now, Paul, your design was a hit last year. What do you have to say about the design elements we saw play out today?
Yeah, I think each of the finalists did something really distinctive with their design, which is great to see. We had Pato with a hand-drawn TV, which he literally uses as a framing device. We have Jessica with a fantastical purple title, somehow made out of data points, possibly using magic. And we have Chris with his mind-bending and indeed screen-bending radial charts. So three very bold choices, which is exactly what you want to see in the Iron Viz final.
Yeah.
Thank you, Paul. And finally, Taha, what are your thoughts on the storytelling we just witnessed?
Well, what I thought was super fascinating this year was every single contestant used a different storytelling device. With Jessica, we had her hallmark style of having a single screen with zero scrolling. With Chris, we had the dynamic zone visibility that allowed a user to go deeper into the analysis. And with Pata, she had that framing device again, and she was using action filters to let people see different dashboards. And I think that really just shows the range of creative styles people can use to tell effective stories. So I love that we had all three of these contestants on the stage, and they used their different creativity. Thank you so much.
Amen. All right. So judges, before you make your final decision, Sue Vizzers, I'm going to give you each 30 seconds to make a pitch for your contestant. You ready? All right, Kim. Why should it be Jessica?
Well, it's my turn to be that context fairy to light the path to victory for Jessica. So when Jessica first took a look at this data, her thought was not just, what story can I tell from it? It was, how do I help people share the joy that I felt in my childhood from this? And that is exactly what her IMDb Fantasy Viz has done. It is a magical guide that gives us a new world with our own personalized recommendations. It is not just a viz, it is a portal to nostalgia, and it's a portal to new realms and new adventures. And that means that it's not just good, it's the kind of good that brings a little magic into all of our lives. So that is why Jessica Moon is my Iron Viz champion.
Woo! All right. Congratulations, Kim. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good start, JP, but what have you got to say about Chris?
Chris is the data people's data person. And he has built this for you. His visualizations are elegantly complex. That radial chart is designed to accommodate for 1 to 1,000 episodes. He is bending the rules in a brilliant way. And the story that he told you today was of a series that went on the decline because it relied a little bit too much on one actor. But that was just the first story that is going to be told with this dashboard. This is now yours. You can go forth and find your own stories in this data with the IMDb Explorer. And this is why Chris is your Iron Viz champion 2024.
Ooh, I like it. I like it. So finally, Peter, what is your patter for patter?
I mean, good. Just like the world-famous Hans Rosling from my home country, Sweden, Patja took on this challenge with full force, diving straight into the data, sampling it, querying it, testing out a few hypotheses, only to uncover these appalling insight of gender inequality of TV series history in this IMDb data set. Amazing analytical capability, I would say. Upon that, you're using her signature design structures, bringing out a TV set, maybe the first time in Iron Viz history, as a backdrop for this entire story, and then sharing this with all of us in her amazing storytelling fashion. So I have only one advice for all of you out there. If you're looking for a rock star data analyst, you're not going to call Saul. You better call Patja Gogova! Woo!
Wow, the gauntlet has been thrown.
Indeed. Now, while the judges choose the Iron Viz 2024 champion, we need your help to choose this year's fan favorite. And it's not just the audience here in San Diego that will get their say. Whether you're watching live or on demand, you can vote too.
Yes, that's right. Voting will open in just a moment, but first, some terms and conditions. So, you get one vote each, just like the People's Choice Awards. Standard text messaging rates, say it right, Andy. Messaging rates apply according to your cellular provider plan. Poll Everywhere doesn't charge for those text message responses.
Audience members will not incur long-distance texting charges, though other charges may apply. For those of you in the US and Canada, your voting number is 37607.
And for everybody worldwide, it's +1 747 444 3548.
Nicely done, Andy. Now, wherever you happen to be, votes must be casted by 10 a.m. Pacific time on May the 1st. That means everyone across the globe will have the chance to vote.
Everyone?
Everyone.
That's good. I bought my phone.
But, Andy, we're the host. We don't get a vote.
You just said everyone. She said everyone, right? Yeah?
Yeah, but come on. It's everyone in the audience.
Everyone in the audience?
Yeah, you know the drill. Everyone in the audience.
In the audience?
Andy, where are you going?
So I'm going to join the audience. Don't worry about me. You carry on, Archana. Hi, everybody.
All right.
So good to see you. Look at all my friends. Hi.
All right. The fan favorite trophy will be awarded during the community-led Vizzies Award Show tomorrow morning at 11:30 a.m. in Breakout 8, Room 28A, if you're here in person.
Archana, that's just after my own session. Chat Live. So we're in the same room. I'll be there. With everybody.
And I'll see you there. All three of our contestants' vizzes will be published onto Tableau Public at tabsoft.co/IV24 by 5:15 Pacific time today, so that you can explore them before you make your vote.
And that's my vote too, right?
No.
Got my phone.
I'm happy to announce that the vote by text is now open to everyone unless your name is Andy Cotgreave. Vote once, and remember, all votes must be received by 10 a.m. Pacific time on May the 1st. So, if you're voting for Team Jessica, text
Jessica. IVJESSICA. Vote.
That one's not going to count, Andy.
I'll try
but if
again.
you're voting for Chris, you can text
IV Chris. That's IVCHRIS. Vote.
That vote isn't going to count either.
Oh.
But if you're voting for Patter, text
IV Patter. This one, surely. IVPATA. IV Patter. Vote.
That one doesn't count either, Andy. Nice try. But while we have you in the audience, why don't you check in and see how they're feeling?
I'd love to. Hey, are you from IMDb?
I sure am.
What are the chances of that happening? Well, since you're here, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Donna Strog. I am the Data Engineering and Science Manager with IMDb. Excited to be here.
Well, it's great to have you, and thank you for giving us all this amazing data.
Thank you.
Tell me a little bit more about IMDb.
So IMDb, which is short for Internet Movie Database, data's in our name. So obviously this is super exciting for anyone in that space. We are the world's most popular website for entertainment data. We have celebrities, movies, TV shows. You can find anything there.
Oh, amazing. How much data do you have?
So much data, so much data. Just to give you a glimpse, we have 1.6 billion star ratings. We have 14 million cast and crew members. We have 10 million entertainment titles.
Can you just hear that sense of excitement from behind us? Like, get my hands on it. And where does it all come from?
So we have many different sources. Majority of our data does come from entertainment professionals and fans. We have a very great engaged fan community, so we get a lot of our data from them.
All right, well, that's great. All right, and you've sat here in Iron Viz Stadium and seen people bring your data to life. What's it been like?
This has been so fantastic, seeing IMDb TV data come to life. I can't wait to go back to work and tell everyone about this.
All right,
It's been great, yes.
Wow, Archana, it turns out I sat next to the right person. So, Donna, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Archana, back to you. Thank you, Donna.
Thank you, Andy, and thank you, Donna. Now, speaking of IMDb, we have a few people who not only competed in, but also won the Iron Viz Student Edition using the Data Plus Movies dataset. Please welcome to the stage Jane Kamata, Nkosi Mgomezulu, and Shinran Pen. And welcome to the Iron Viz stage. Now, Jane, how has your data journey changed since first using Tableau? And what advice do you have for students discovering data viz for the first time?
Yes, my Tableau journey actually started in 2019, making dashboards for my high school's robotics team. I was really fortunate for Tableau's partnership with First Robotics. And then more recently, I took an information visualization course at my college. And through that course, I really focused on fundamentals that made my visualizations more impactful and put those robot dashboards I made in high school to shame. And ultimately, I continued my Tableau journey even after that semester ended and started considering a career in data more seriously. And I still have a lot to learn, but I think students interested in visualizations should really find data that they're passionate about showing the world. I think visualization is an art form, so if you can create a masterpiece when you pursue it with intention in mind. And if you find a story worth telling, you'll be all the more motivated to refine those new skills. And so if you ever need help getting started, I heard the Data Fam are some pretty good people, so you should turn to them.
Thank you, Jane. Now, Nkosi, what drives you to continue to improve your data viz skills, and what excites you about the Tableau community?
Thank you, Archana. I'd say definitely the great community here. The work being done on Tableau Public is truly amazing. Funny enough, actually, I'd say for my student Iron Viz entry, I actually took the time to actually review all 196 vizzes for the feeder competition to find inspiration for my data viz. Truly was amazing. To me, I'd say data viz is a lifelong journey, and it's about taking it one day at a time so that you can improve each day, and a year from now you can look back and say, I did something special. What excites me definitely, I would say, is the community. Like, all the great people here are truly exceptional, the amazing people. So yeah, and also lastly, like the great content out there on YouTube, the great books that the community has put together truly inspire me to continue and be in this data community.
Thank you. I think we have a future judge on our hands. He reviewed every viz. And finally, Shinran, you'd only been learning Tableau for a few months when you decided to enter the competition. What gave you the confidence to enter, and what's your favorite part about using Tableau?
Well, as a UX designer with zero data-related training, I actually found Tableau's interface very intuitive and user-friendly. So I am able to create beautiful data visualizations with simply dragging and dropping, and that gave me a lot of confidence when I first get started. The second thing that gave me confidence is the amazing, amazing Tableau community. Yeah, round of applause. People are sharing their tips and tricks and answering questions online, and they absolutely save my life when I encounter problems that are too complicated for me to solve on my own. Speaking of my favorite part of Tableau, I would say it's actually the Show Me tab. It gives me a preview of the data viz I want to create, and all I have to do is simply follow the instruction. So for starters like me, the Show Me tab is an absolutely fantastic tool.
Thank you. Thank you so much to our student Iron Viz champions for joining me on stage. Let's hopefully see you right here on stage in the future. Let's hear it again for our incredible students. Andy, care to join me back on stage?
Yeah, I'd love to. That was great.
I think you've had enough rest.
Yeah, I'm getting old, you know. They were brilliant. They're totally the future of data viz, I think. Yeah.
Completely agree, but I think our audience has been waiting long enough.
I think so.
May we have the envelope, please?
They have made the
Now,
decision.
As a reminder, this year's winner will receive $15,000 plus $10,000 to the charity of their choice. And our runners-up will take home $6,000 plus $4,000 to the charities of their choice. But before we announce the winner, I want to thank the Iron Viz cast and crew, and hopefully we end up on IMDb next year. I also want to thank my co-host Andy for choosing to hang out with us rather than hanging 10 at the beach.
I'd totally rather be here, but you know, the thing I did on the beach, it was pretty good, right?
And I mean,
some people appreciate
after that masterpiece, I'm surprised you left the beach.
I know. And thank you, Archana. You know, I was having loads of fun on the beach, but I'm glad you appreciate my work.
And thank you to our sponsors who helped make today's event possible.
Yeah, and of course, finally, thank you to everybody here live in San Diego and watching at home on the live streams. Thank you so much. We will be launching the Iron Viz 2025 qualifier later this year. I want every one of you to enter. Every one of you, right. Is it time?
I think it's time. Andy, can you announce the winner?
I would be delighted to announce the winner. Can we have a drum roll? Bam, bam, drum roll, please. Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of Iron Viz 2024 is Chris Wesley!
Congratulations, Chris. You've just won $15,000, and $10,000 will be going to Plan International. But how are you feeling?
It's unreal. Really, I thought this whole experience was starting to feel real, but this is going to take a bit longer to sink in.
That's brilliant. And please, give it up for our runners-up, Jessica and Patatu. All right, congratulations to all three of you. Seriously, amazing work. So, ladies and gentlemen, the last thing for you all to do is vote for the fan favorite. We'll be announcing the results in the Whizzes Awards tomorrow and on Tableau socials.
Well, I think that's a wrap. Until next year.
Everybody keep Vizzing!